Welcome to Maths for All. I'm Aisling Flynn and this is Higher Level. And in this video we're doing the line. We're going to be dividing lines in certain ratios. Let's look at ratios first. Consider the line segment AB shown below. We are asked to divide it in the ratio of 3:1 and to mark the point of division as point C. So there are going to be some point C along the way from A to B. Okay, and that means when we mark a point C, there will be 3 parts to the left of it and 1 part to the right. So A to C is 3 times longer than C to B. And that means that there are 4 equal parts in total. Okay, 1, 2, 3 to the left and the 4th one to the right. So what you'd be doing there is you would divide the line into 4 equal parts and then count 3 on the left hand side, mark C and leave 1 for the right hand side. So the total is important. Okay, 3 parts and 1 part makes 4 parts. So let's apply that to a question. Consider the line segment DE, where D is -5, 3 and E is 3, -1. Find the coordinates of point F, which divides DE in the ratio of 3:1. So here is point D, which is -5, 3. Let's label that D. And here's point E, which is 3, -1. And let's join them up to form the line segment. Now we're asked to divide that in a ratio of 3:1. So it's not as simple as just counting units along the red line, because the line is at an angle and that would interfere with our counting. Okay. Now what we can do, however, is we can look at horizontal and vertical distances. Okay, so we can count the horizontal distance from D to E. So that's what I'm doing here with my pen. So 1, 2 unit, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 till we're in line. So it's 8 across, okay, until we're in line with E. And the vertical difference between D and E is down 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so if we were separately then to divide the horizontal distance in the ratio of 3:1 and the vertical distance in the ratio of 3:1, then we should be able to find the point that divides overall in that ratio. So let's take the 8 units horizontal, okay, which of course will bring us to the x coordinate. Okay, we to go from D to E is 8 units across. Okay, so let's divide 8 into the ratio of 3:1. As discussed previously, that's 4 parts. So we'll divide 8 by 4 and of course we get 2. So 3 2's are to the left of our point, so that's 3 2's are 6, and 1 2 is to the right of our point. So 6 is to 2. Okay, if we look at the vertical distance, which will give us our y coordinate in a moment, there's 4 in the vertical difference between the 2 points, and of course 4 divided by 4 is just 1, so we'll have 3 parts is to 1 part. Okay, so almost there. Let's now count from D to E. We'll do horizontal first, and our ratio is 6:2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 brings me to here. Okay, and I'm just going to drop that down till I hit my red line. I should have it now. Okay, and vertically we've got 3:1. So from D, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and I have my 3:1, and going across from that, I end up here at this point here. They all coincide at this point here, which is going to be point F, which is 1, 0. And it looks about right. Okay, have we divided it in the ratio of 3:2? Okay, now there is another way by which to answer the previous question, and that is to use a formula from your formula books, from the coordinate geometry page of the line. It's on page 18 of the booklet, and it's given here: point dividing PQ in the ratio A:B. And we have this formula there. So we're going to attempt to answer the same question, this time using the formula, giving you a choice based on the information you get in the exam. Okay, so let's try that on the next slide. Okay, so it's the same question, all right, the same points, but maybe it's not necessary to draw it when we have the formula. So the first thing I'm going to write down is the formula, which is bx1 plus ax2 over b plus a, comma, that gives the x coordinate, by1 plus ay2 over b plus a. Okay, now what are all those letters? The ratio is A:B. Okay, and the x1, y1 will be D, and the x2, y2 will be E. Okay, and we always go in the way it's written in the exam. If the line segment is named DE, well then D is the first point and E is the second, and 3:1. 3 comes first, so A is 3 and B is 1. Okay, so we're going to find our point F then by filling in all of this information. Okay, so we'll fill it all in and then we'll compute it. So B is 1 times minus 5 plus 3 times 3 over, well, A plus B, that's 3 plus 1 is 4, so the division of 4 is crucial to this. Okay, and then we have B, which is 1 times y1 is 3 plus 3 times minus 1. Again, over B plus A will be 4. So here I will get minus 5 plus 9 over 4. And for the y coordinate, we'll get 3 minus 3 over 4, which is minus 5 plus 9 is 4 over 4, comma, 0 over 4. When you simplify that, we get the same answer as we did in the other way, which is 1, 0. And this is our point F. So whatever your personal preference is, and depending on if you have a graph drawn in advance or not, you may choose to use a graph, or you may choose to use the formula. Okay, here's another question, and it's slightly different. Consider the points A, B, and C. So the coordinates of A and B are given, and C is not. C is given as x, comma, y. Given that the point B divides the line segment AC internally, so that means inside, in the ratio of 2:3, find the coordinates of the point C. Okay, so just to picture it, without drawing a graph, the line goes from A to C. So that's the line segment AC. Draw it as it's written, with A first and C second, going from left to right. The point B is going to be in the middle somewhere, dividing AC internally, so inside, with the ratio of 2:3. So 2:3, again going from left to right, the shorter part 2 will come first and the longer part 3 will come second. So this part A to B represents 2 parts and B to C represents 3 parts. Okay. Now we are given coordinates for A and B, 4, 6. B is -4, 2. And C is, we don't know, this is what we're asked to find out, X, Y. Okay, so what we're first going to do first is an approach that just explores the numbers, what's happening to the numbers, and using the ratio to extrapolate, to predict where C will be. Okay, and secondly we'll look at the formula. So let's look at A to B first. How does A get to B? Alright, so the X value of A, let's write down A here. The X value of A goes to B, which has X value -4. Alright, so what changes, how do you get from 4 to -4? Well, you'd have to drop down 4 to 0 and then another 4. It would be X -8, wouldn't it? Or -8. And similarly, let's look at what happens to the Y value. The Y value has dropped from 6 to 2, and that's -4. Okay, now this movement from A to B represents 2 steps along the way. Okay, so what I'm going to look at first is, well, what is one step? It would be to dropping by 8 by total means we drop by -4 and by another -4. Okay, and this is where we extrapolate or bring that forward to figure out C. Right, so we have dropped 2 4s from going from A to B, so that's the 2, but to go from B to C you have to do 3 steps, so 3 jumps. So I'm going to go -4, -4 and -4 once more. Okay, that's a total of -16, or -12, excuse me, I'm getting ahead of myself. So from -4 at B we go down another 12 and we'll end up at -16. Okay, you following? And let's look at the Y's. So to get from 6 to -2 we drop down by -4. Now that was 2 steps in our ratio. Okay, so let's see, that would be -2 and -2 repeated would give you -4 in total, and we have to do that 3 times now according to the ratio. -2, -2, -2 to get to point C. So from +2 we have to go down 6 in total, which leaves me at -4. So therefore I'm saying that point C is -16, -4. Okay, I'm going to do a quick graph sketch, okay, just to see what that looks like. 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6. Okay, point A was at 4, 6 up here. I'll do X's. There's A. Point B was at -4, -2, -4, was at -4, 2, which is here. That's B. And point C, I'll have to extend this a good bit, -6, -8, -10, -12, -14, -16, -4. Okay, not to scale, of course. So point C was -16, -4, which ends up down here. So I can see, yeah, okay, probably on proper graph paper I'd have a nice straight line. Okay, and the ratio between A to B to C is 2 on this side and 3 on that one. Looks about right. Okay, so that's using, well, really what we used is called translations. Okay, much like you did with the area of the triangle. I pushed A to B, saw what happened, and that's 2 steps. Okay, and to go from B to C it has to be 3 steps. Okay, let's see how that can be done then using the formula. It may be quicker in this instance. Alright, so the exact same question, but this time we're using the formula. So the first thing we'll do is we'll write down the formula. So it's bx1 plus ax2 over a plus b, or b plus a, they're right for some reason, b plus a, comma by1 plus ay1 over b plus a. Okay, now in this case it's the end points of the line give you your x1, y1. Okay, so that's a, x1, y1, and c is x2, y2. Okay, and the answer will be b, minus 4 for the x part and 2 for the y part. Okay, and my a is 2 and my b is 3. So we'll start substituting like you normally would. Okay, but we have to put the right bit in the right place. So b is 3 times x1, 4, plus 2 times x2 is x, over b plus a, 2 plus 3 is 5. And then we've got b times y1 is 6, plus a times y2 is our y, over 5. Now we can tidy up, of course, a little bit. We've got 12 plus 2x over 5, and we've got 18 plus 2y over 5. So where do we go from here? Well, we know what the answer should be. It should be point B. So at this stage we'll take each coordinate separately. So let's look at the x coordinate, and 12 plus 2x over 5 should give answer of minus 4. Okay, this is something we can solve easily. We're going to multiply both sides by 5 and we get 12 plus 2x equals minus 20. Is that alright? We're going to take 12 from both sides and we get 2x equals minus 20 minus 12. Just continue over here. I get 2x equals minus 32. Divide both sides by 2. I get x equals minus 16. Okay, that looks familiar. Alright. And now I'm going to look at the y coordinate. So 18 plus 2y over 5 should give the answer from point B of 2. Multiply both sides by 5 and you get 18 plus 2y equals 10. Take 18 from both sides. 2y equals 10 minus 18. 2y equals minus 8 from that. Divide both sides by 2 and we get y equals minus 4. And so my point C is minus 16 minus 4x comma y, and that is the same answer as we got above. So whichever approach you prefer, or whichever one suits the question that you are given, you can use.